वैराग्यविद्या निजभक्तियोगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुषपुराणां श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य शरीरधारी कृपाम्बुदीर्यतमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणम् वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Warm welcome everyone in the study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we continue this fascinating journey, study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, ever motivating, ever inspiring. See, in life, uh, some things we actually struggle, I think, or find it a bit shocking. Yeah, I think shocking. What? One is to receive love and also to express love. This is something a bit uncommon in life, I would say. In the sense, when met devotees, and I found like they all are being very nice and kind to me. So it straight comes to this say dodgy mind. They must have got something going on. There must be some reason. Why are they being so nice and kind to me? Say they must have some hidden agenda. Say perhaps. Otherwise, and in many ways, devotees in initial interactions pretty much like strangers only. So do not expect a stranger as such to be so nice and kind. But after spending some time with devotees and all, and can see like, okay, they genuinely or naturally they would like to be nice and kind. They like being nice and kind, and they like that sharing of love and then receiving love or expressing that love. And amongst uh, family members, friends, and other relationships and all. There is that sharing of love and that receiving of love as well. But I always feel there is a slightly different equation there. Slightly different. There's some different energy sort of involved in there because that is very much centered around material understanding, material thought process with some material agenda. And with devotees, they always try to see things from the spiritual perspective, and which is always, see, spirit means something which unites, matter is something which divides, spirit is something which connects, real bond. Uh, Matter means there is some hidden agenda, and spirit means the only open agenda is to love, to share, to care, to serve, that sort of bond. So Arjuna as well, throughout this dialogue, what do we find? Arjuna is finding saturation. He is finding nourishment. He's finding nourishment through this dialogue with Krishna. He's he's receiving love, and also he's able to express his heartfelt emotion as well. Mm. He's able to receive this pure, genuine, proper love and express love as well. And in life, so this is a question, and then we start with our reading. In life, do you think we need, very often, we need validation, or people from us need validation? Validation, as in, um, am I correct? Is this fine? Is this right? Or validation, as in, um, did I do good? Say something, compliment me something good, or even if it's not good, then still validate or give me some compliments around it. I think people in general, yeah, we like validation. We we need validation. Otherwise, we struggle to live without validation in the sense, in the form of some feedback, in the form of some sort of feedback, and this gives us an assurance. This gives us an assurance, yes, the relationship is, where does it stand? And seeking this validation, lots and lots of say validation, is because like somewhere we struggle to share or experience love at a higher level, to express love and also to receive love. And when we actually experience that mercy, that grace, that place, that love from Krishna, mm, that love in the devotional practice, in the devotional process, that purity, that sanctity, simplicity, then we would be freeing ourselves from worldly validation. Then we would not be really wanting a tag, a validation, some ranking, some ratings. Where do I stand? How am I progressing and all? If I know, yes, wow, I mean, Krishna loves me. What can be more glorious than this? Yes, Krishna loves me. His devotees, they love me, they care for me. That's the only validation we need actually as such. Having said this, not mean to say that, okay, I've got no business with my mom and dad or with my friends, partners and all. No. But when it comes to like real validation, I would be vouching what would Krishna think? What does Krishna think? What does Krishna's devotees validate or think on this? So once I experience, I live, I understand, I feel, I know, realize that yes, actually Krishna loves me. That very thought in itself will be very soothing, calming, joy giving. And Arjuna realized all of this. Arjuna went through these emotions. Arjuna realized all of this. And through the study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, this is the prayer, this is the objective, this is the aim, aspiration, that we also come across realizing the direct love of Krishna. The direct. There is the love of Krishna, that's why like everything is created and things are there and all. But now we want an entrance to Krishna's heart. Entrance to Krishna's heart. What a joy to make a place in someone's heart. Wow. So with this mood, with this prayer, with this desire, longing, aspiration, we continue our study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 33. So what we begin from for today. किं पुनर्क्रमन पुण्या भक्ताराज ऋषयस्तथा अनित्यमसुखं लोकम् imam prapya bhajasva mam. Okay, Harsha, you read translation purport.
How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. In this material world, there are classifications of people, but after all, this world is not a happy place for anyone. It is clearly stated here, Anityam Asukham Lokam. This world is temporary and full of miseries, not habitable for any sane gentleman. This world is declared by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be temporary and full of miseries. Some philosophers, especially Mayavadi philosophers, say that this world is false. But we can understand from Bhagavad Gita that the world is not false, it is temporary. There is a difference between temporary and false. This world is temporary, but there is another world which is eternal. This world is miserable, but the other world is eternal and blissful. Arjuna was born in a saintly royal family. To him also the Lord says, Take to me, take to my devotional service, and come quickly back to Godhead, back home. No one should remain in this temporary world, full as it is with miseries. Everyone should attach himself to the bosom of the Supreme Personality of Godhead so that he can be eternally happy. The devotional service of the Supreme Lord is the only process by which all problems of all classes of men can be solved. Everyone should therefore take to Krishna consciousness and make his life perfect. How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me.
Nowhere in Bhagavad Gita we find any shloka, any text where Krishna is deriding Arjuna. Uh, Some places initially, one or two places initially where Krishna chastised Arjuna a bit. He spoke slightly strongly. There's a difference. There's a thick or a thin line actually. Speaking strongly and speaking rudely. Someone might speak strongly, but doesn't mean that one has to be rude. Doesn't mean one has to be offending. Doesn't mean one has to be hurting. Huh? Doesn't mean that one has to be insulting, showing someone down. And yet one could speak strong. How does that work? When one maintains integrity or humility or speaks based on knowledge, speaks not out of some egoistic, self hidden desire, individual, selfish, egoistic desire. So if one speaks based on an impartial or as they are, then one can still speak strongly and not be offending. So we find places in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna spoke some places a bit strongly to Arjuna and to, yes, incite him, of course, to encourage him, motivate him, and also to incite him. In some places, to incite him to slightly boil his blood, being a warrior, a Kshatriya, to boil his blood to make him prepare him for the war. But never, no place we see, okay, Krishna is having a go or he's taking an opportunity and he's trying to insult or offend or put him down or rank him or anything like that. No. But generally, it is observed again in society, in dealings, at work, wherever, that people, when we speak a bit strongly, we get the frustration comes out, and it's that frustration which is being yelled out. Hmm? And in when we are frustrated, then in the name of speaking strongly, we go on speaking rudely, we go on speaking offending, we go on speaking insulting, because we have a hidden agenda, because our desires are not being fulfilled, or we are so much materialistically carrying heavy expectations. And wherever we can find our control, hmm, to speaks harsh or strong to someone, we will speak. Like if someone does not have control over his or her partner, but maybe their child, then they will apply that pressure on their child, perhaps. But Krishna, he had full, um, of course, autonomy, and as well as he had kind of full authority over Arjuna. Throughout Bhagavad Gita, I asked this a few times, mm, um, but maybe we have Lucy and Alexandra, and um, they can help us out. So, what is the opposite of exploitation? I'm sorry again, I've told many a times I have this habits of asking questions, maybe silly, may not be silly, and asking on the spot. So yeah.
I heard you. I'm just thinking.
Is it care, like
Yeah,
caring?
Hmm? Very close to what I thought. And yeah,
Mm.
care is very good. Hmm.
compassion.
Compassion also good. Yeah, compassion also good. But compassion, I feel there is a slight catch there, perhaps. Care is
Mm.
very good. Should I say what I had in my mind?
Yeah.
Yes.
Opposite of exploitation, could it be nourishment?
Mm.
Mm.
Nourishing, nourishment, which is like care. So, and why I say compassion could be a slight catch in the sense I might be showing compassion to someone, but many times compassion is very wrongly calculated as well, or a bit slightly misjudged. So the compassion may or may not be nourishing him, perhaps, just like that. In Bhagavad Gita, we never see Arjuna, Krishna is exploiting Arjuna. No, no. Why? Because Krishna always has a plan B. Krishna is never lacking control. Krishna is never in short of anything. Why? Because Krishna never experiences scarcity in his life. He never needs validation as such. He's never short. Hmm? So this is why Krishna doesn't need to exploit. He has got abundance of what love, and everything that comes from love with that love. And in society, we find generally either I am exploiting or I am getting exploited. Hmm. And we see many a times whosoever we give our heart to say, hmm, to give our say some control in life, and hoping the person will I will feel nourishment with the person. But many times we see, okay, actually I got cheated or I got a bit exploited there, or couldn't find that right level of nourishment because the dealing is at a very human platform, material, human, mundane platform. And this dealing, what Krishna and Arjuna are having, is at the highest spiritual realm. So there's nothing but nourishing. So Krishna here, bring the translation once again. Krishna here is look how sweetly nourishing Arjuna. Throughout his reviving, he's bringing out his potential, Arjuna's real strength, real potential, and so nicely, not flattering. Krishna is not. See, the ways to motivate someone, right? The ways to motivate someone out of fear, out of flattery, out of some bribe, uh, out of some duty bound, some reasoning, some pressure. uh, these are the ways generally to motivate someone. And Krishna is motivating Arjuna, but not flattering him. He is exposing the reality of life in front of Arjuna. He is revealing the potential of Arjuna, the strength of Arjuna, the identity, the individuality, the character. What's that thing? The how best to say, like वास्तव में अर्जुन की पहचान है ना? So his his overall makeup, he's exposing, he's revealing that out. Mhm. So Krishna does not exploit. He doesn't exploit anyone actually. What to speak of his devotees surely, and those who have still not found their resolve with Krishna. Even doesn't Krishna does not exploit them. Why? He doesn't need to. Why does he not need to? Because Krishna is never in scarcity. Generally, we find okay, my boss is exploiting, perhaps my partner, perhaps my council is exploiting. Why? Because they want something from me and all. And what Krishna wants from us is nothing other than love, nothing other than our attention, nothing other than purity, say that. nothing other than simplicity as well. So here, how Krishna is sweetly motivating Arjuna, how much more this is of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. And this is where Arjuna falls in the category. Actually, he falls in the category of devotees for sure, saintly kings as well, and like Raja Rishi. So, Raja Rishi meaning a saintly king. So, not just a king who is well versed with scriptures, who is saintly, who spends time with the saints and who listens to the saints, who follows them, who has got demeanor, who has got etiquette, who has got humility, who has got character, who has got morality. Hmm? So Krishna is uh, like there's something in Sanskrit as komitik nyaya, a sort of logic, as in, look, there's no impediment. We read yesterday. There's no impediment for anyone in any of the social orders, any body, male body, female body, whatever. There's no impediment for one to practice devotional service. And what more so to say of you, Arjuna? You are born in a royal family. You are a saintly king, you are a pious person for sure, you are a devotee and all. So, therefore, having come to this temporary, miserable world, engaging in loving service unto me, you are surely at a very elevated position, but do not get stuck there. Do not get stuck there. Do not get distracted as well. Okay, screen हटा सकते हो. Do not get stuck there. Do not get distracted. Life is meant for ever excellence. Yeah, life is meant for excelling continuously. So excel, thrive, mm, continuously excel and unleash or get to know more of your potential that ways. So what to speak of, I mean, others, you are very much capable. So just find your resolve, find your more heart with me, and then see what would come about. Okay, any thoughts, questions, or comments? Krishna wants Arjuna to fight this war. Uh, Krishna is not dependent on Arjuna though, but yes, he wants Arjuna to fight this war and get all the glory. Krishna doesn't want any glory for himself. Krishna sees his glory in glorifying his devotees. Wherever there is glory of his devotees, Krishna feels nourished. He feels glorified. This is why in Adi Puran actually Krishna says this. What does he say? Um, ये में भक्त जना पार्था न में भक्तास च ते जना मद भक्तानां च ये भक्तास स में भक्ता तमो mata. So Krishna says, "Ye me bhakta jana partha." Partha Arjuna is referring to Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, one who considers or says that, "Oh, I'm a devotee of Krishna," he's not actually my devotee. One who directly says that I'm a direct devotee of Krishna, he's not actually my devotee. Rather, one who says, hmm, "Mad bhaktanam chahiye bhaktas," one who says that actually I'm a devotee of Krishna's devotee. He is actually my devotee. So that is the Mahaprabhu's teachings as well. This is the mood, the thing, to become a lover of Krishna, to become a friend of the friend of the friend of Krishna, uh, to become a um, servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. That ways. And again, the word servant in societal terms, it brings a sense of hierarchy, it brings a sense of negative connotation, or it brings a sense of like, yeah, hierarchy, positioning, or something like that. But in spiritual realm, this the highest joy is like being recognized as a servant of Krishna. That's such a highest joy. So nowhere Krishna is trying to actually exploit Arjuna, rather he's trying to fully nourish him, and he wants Arjuna to fight this war on righteous, moral, logical grounds, principles as well, for the common welfare of the society at large, of the world at large. So many things he wants to set, like send across a message and raise piety, raise morality in society, bring good vibes, good energy, good message, education. And through this war, he wants to fulfill something as Arjuna's Swadharma, his Kshatriya Dharma, his warrior duty, and also more so his Atma Dharma, uh, the duty of the soul proper, which is unconditional, unmotivated love for Krishna. That, and very expertly, smartly, he is excelling Arjuna without letting him feel any pressure as well. Isn't it so amazing if someone is helping me grow and it Arjuna is in a very precarious situation, the most precarious situation. We in our lives we do not go through this precarious situation, what Arjuna is going through. We surely have our struggles, but when we see it in front of Arjuna, there's nothing. Our struggles would seem very ordinary. So Arjuna is in such a strong, precarious, heavy situation, very pressurized situation, yet he is not feeling the pressure. Uh, Such is the beauty, the wisdom, the sweetness of the talk of Krishna. And us, our tiny little precious, when we put ourselves in front of this message, I'm sure we will also find due solace or due this comfort, due resolve for sure. Okay, any thoughts? Perhaps, if at all, any reflections, thoughts, questions, or comments? Okay, so thank you once again for keeping my job simple, and let's see next then, huh? Also, like, okay, it says in the translation there, right? Temporary miserable world. So, um, this world is, yeah, it's temporary, which we understand, which we know. I mean, our relationship, interaction with this in this world is with this physical material body, the mind and the senses. Now, the material physical body is in itself temporary, so anything associated with it is temporary. So, in that sense, yeah, temporary. Hmm? And it is certainly not false, as in things do not hold their ground for sure, because it's a changing world. It's a relative world, it's always a constantly changing world. But that doesn't mean that it is false. Changing world means it is a temporary world. Yet it is true. The truth is short lived though, but it is not like, okay, completely false or completely everything is illusion. No. There is a reality, there is a real engagement. We are living in a dream like state, we are living in a illusion like state, but we cannot deny that we are not present. Truth is changing, the world is changing. This is why it is like short lived or temporary, but it is not like completely just a illusion of everything being false. And miserable, why miserable again, very briefly? uh, any sort of pleasure in this world, it's not like this there's no pleasure in this world, but when compared to spiritual pleasure, the material pleasure does not stand any firm ground. Yeah? Does not stand any firm ground. An iota of a drop, an iota of the drop of the ocean of spiritual pleasure cannot even be compared to an ocean of same material pleasure in this world. we can think for ourselves what is the highest material pleasure in this world, and how much is that pleasure, if at all if we can quantify it, if at all we can see how long lasting that pleasure is, and how much that pleasure is free from pain. Can we think of any material pleasure which is free from pain, which hasn't got a disease, a pain, a stigma, some stumbling block attached to it, a stress attached to it? No. The very word matter means dual. It has two sides, pleasures and pain. Huh? What is it they say? Pleasures comes with pain, or pleasures come with consequences, something like that, right? Pleasure, pains, everything like in this world has a dual side, which means there is going to be consequences, good or bad. But the very word spirit or spiritual emotion, what is it? It has to be one sided, all good. Krishna consciousness is all one sided, all good, helping us attain eternity, go towards eternity. Okay, some rough thoughts on the surface there, and now we always find ourselves a bit short of time as well, and we will be always short of time. But yeah, happy to discuss a bit furthermore. If there are any thoughts, questions, else we see. मन्मना भाव मद्भक्तो मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामेव वश्यसि युक्त्वेवम् आत्मानं मत्परायण. So Lucy Alessandra, kindly read, but maybe if you want to share paragraph by paragraph between the two of you, huh? Translation, and then purport, you can share paragraphs by paragraphs, please.
All right.
Do we start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obscene obscenes to me.
Obeisances.
Thank you.
Okay.
Offer obeisances to me and worship me, being completely absorbed in me. Surely you will come to me. In this verse, it is clearly indicated that Krishna consciousness is the only means of being delivered from the clutches of this contaminated material world. Sometimes unscrupulous contaminators distort the meaning of what is clearly stated here, that all devotional service should be offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Unfortunately, unscrupulous contaminators divert the mind of the reader to which is not at all feasible. Such commentators do not know that there is no difference between Krishna mind and Krishna. Krishna is not an ordinary human being. He is absolute truth. He is body, his mind, and he is himself are one and absolute. It is stated in the Karma Purna, as it is quoted by the
Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami in his Anubhasya comments on Chaitanya Charitamrita, 5th chapter of Adi Lila, verse 41 to 48. Deha Dehi Vibhedoyam Neshwara Vidyate Kvachit.
This means there's no difference in Krishna, the Supreme Lord, between himself and his body. But because the commentators do not know this science of Krishna, they hide Krishna and divide his personality from his mind or from his body. Although this is sheer ignorance of the science of Krishna, some men make profit out of misleading people.
There are some who are demonic. They also think of Krishna, but enviously. Just like King Kamsa, Krishna's uncle, he was also thinking of Krishna always, but he thought of Krishna as his enemy. He was always in anxiety, wondering when Krishna would come to kill him. That kind of thinking will not help us. One should be thinking of Krishna in devotional love. That is bhakti. One should cultivate the knowledge of Krishna continuously. What is that favorable cultivation? It is to learn from a bona fide teacher. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we have several times explained that his body is not material, but is eternal, blissful knowledge. This kind of talk about Krishna will help one become a devotee. Understanding Krishna otherwise from the wrong source will prove fruitless.
One should therefore engage his mind.
Okay. One should therefore engage his mind in eternal form, the primal form of Krishna, with conviction in his heart that Krishna is the supreme. He should engage himself in
Would
worship.
Angie like to read though?
Oh yeah, do you want to read?
Yes.
I was just scrolling, that's why it was taking a while.
Ouch. No, thank you. One should therefore engage his mind in the eternal form, the primal form of Krishna, with conviction in his heart that Krishna is the supreme. He should engage himself in worship. There are hundreds of thousands of temples in India for the worship in Krishna, and devotional service is practices there. When such practices is made, one has to offer obeisances to Krishna. One should lower his head before the deity and engage his mind, his body, his activities, everything. That will make one fully absorbed, but in Krishna without deviation. This will help one transfer to the Krishna Loka. One should not be deviated by unscrupulous commentators. One must engage in the 9 different processes of devotional service, beginning with the hearing and chanting about Krishna. Pure devotional service in the highest achievement of human society.
The 7th and 8th chapters of the Bhagavad Gita have explained pure devotional service to the Lord, and that is free from speculative knowledge, mystic, yoga, and fruitive activities. Those who are not purely sanctified may be attracted by different features of the Lord, like impersonal Brahmyatya, and localized Paramatma,
Paramatma.
but the pure devotee,
Paramatma,
but pure devotee directly takes the service of the Supreme Lord.
There is a beautiful poem about Krishna in which it is clearly stated that any person who is engaged in the worship of demigods is most unintelligent and cannot achieve at any time the supreme award of Krishna. The devotee in the beginning may sometimes fall from the standard, but still he should be considered superior to all other philosophers and yogis. One who always engages in Krishna consciousness should be understood to be a perfectly saintly person. His accidental, non-devotional activities will diminish, and he will soon be situated without any doubt in complete perfection. The pure devotee has no actual chance to fall down because the Supreme Godhead personally takes care of his pure devotees. Therefore, the intelligent person should take directly to the process of Krishna consciousness and happily live in this material world. He will eventually receive the supreme award of Krishna.
Use the Bhaktivedanta purpose to the 9th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of the most confidential knowledge.
Engage your
Mostly read
mind.
translation. Yeah, read translation, please.
Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisance to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Thank you. Yeah, obeisances. So you would have seen, right, in temple devotees when they enter, so they offer obeisances like bowing down. So that's obeisances. Yeah, those in female body, they do generally, yeah, they do Panchanga Pranam. So the bowing down is slightly different. Like, and those in male body, they do Shashtanga Pranam, Dandavat Pranam. Anyway, so yeah, obeisances is offering one's heartfelt, actually, emotion, prayer, and bowing down before Krishna. So beautiful. Like this is um, say an appeal of Krishna, a request or an appeal of Krishna. And what is he appealing for? He's appealing Arjuna to find his space in Krishna's heart. Actually, he's Krishna. See, this world is like what, um, available for business or available for sale or open for sale. Everyone is trying to buy us, lure us, or take us in. And saying that, okay, are you available? Are you available? And here Krishna is saying, yes, I am available for you. I'm available for you. A few points or a few ways, like if we see, mm, what is Krishna saying? Engage your mind always in thinking of me. We wouldn't find a single shloka, single text in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna is after our body as such, our physical body, or our, say, even bodily, anything to do with the bodily relationship. No, Krishna is not at all involved or engaged there. In the very beginning, he tells Arjuna that, Arjuna, you are not this body, you are a spirit soul. uh, So gives him some identity clue as well. The world is stuck big time in identity crisis. You know how big is this cosmetic industry, makeup industry? Pretty big, very big. Don't know, I cannot put a number, but it's very big. And likewise, there's so much such industries and marketing and shops and whatnot, all for the pampering the needs of the body. Not even needs as well. Then the wants have actually become the needs. Uh, the wants have completely replaced and kind of have become the needs now. Uh, and the irony is, the soul proper, living, residing inside the body, is not cared for. And Prabhupada explains, just like a parrot in a cage. And if I try to polish the cage or throughout, clean the cage, look after the cage, polish it, but but ignoring the parrot inside, oh, the parrot is going to die out of suffocation. Likewise, if I'm too much engrossed in bodily requirements, bodily needs, or in bodily conception of life, I will never find fulfillment. No, will never find fulfillment. Wouldn't find fulfillment. Any bodily needs given, any bodily requirements and all fulfilled, still there will be a greed or need for more and more. There won't be satisfaction, won't be there. Uh, And the spiritual life, also in spiritual life, the greed will still be there. but materially one will be very much satisfied. So Krishna conscious teachings is what? Huh? Krishna conscious teachings teaches us how to actually practically bring it what? How to be materially satisfied but spiritually ambitious. This is Krishna conscious teachings. Materially, a practitioner, a sadhaka should be satisfied. Yes, materially I'm satisfied because I understand whatever is coming to me is because of my karmic reaction, my past life karmas, my desires, and this is what is coming to me based on my karmic destined. I was destined. Okay, so I'm fine with it. But spiritually, I am very ambitious because our spiritual life, spiritual journey is completely independent. It is not dependent on the hands of our karma or even our previous desires or impressions or anything. No, we have that free will to exercise our spiritual right, our spiritual identity, express or appreciate or um, receive spiritual happiness to the highest fulfillment that is purely left out on us altogether. It is not dependent on karma or anything. So the application of Krishna conscious life, it should lead us to a energy level, to a consciousness level, wherein with firm conviction I am become materially satisfied and spiritually ever ambitious. And this means my spiritual ambition will always be, it won't, I cannot say that okay, yes, I'm spiritually fulfilled. No, the greed, the hankering for more and more of Krishna's love and more of service will always be there. But materially, yes, whatever it is, I'm very satisfied. But on bodily side, I would never find saturation or satisfaction. So on material life means confusion. Material life means confusion. Even after slogging or working and everything, still there would be some confusion, that some lack of clarity and all. But spiritual life means yes, there is clarity. So Krishna nowhere is like Krishna early on tells Arjuna, you are not this body, you are a spirit soul. So now act like a spirit soul. Tolerate your body and act like a spirit soul. Uh, do your bodily duty as duty. But for the soul, the duty of soul is to love Krishna. That's the duty of soul. Currently, by and large, how the society works is we love, we love, uh, we love like we do whatever Krishna consciousness at the most at the duty platform. And what we want is love our material desires and all. We love that very much. And the spiritual aspect of it, we do it more of a formality or as a duty bound. But it should become very, very different. We should be loving Krishna. We should be having our loving that spiritual practice and doing our bodily things and on the duty side itself. Whatever is required, whatever is due, needed to be done. So Krishna is not asking for, see, um, in society, yes, it is observed there's so much of emphasis on bodily looks for that matter, say, that one becomes very conscious. Do I look fat? Do I look young? Do I look old? Do I look slim? Do I look um, this or that? What sort of? And then, and every front, like money wise, looks wise, whatever, all this related. But Krishna is not after looks. He's not saying engage your body in me, engage your mind. Why also? Krishna knows where is our problem. Problem lies in our mind. Our mind is all over the place. And Krishna is saying, you give your mind to me. I know that your mind is actually haunting you from time to time. Why don't you give your mind to me? Why don't you make, there's ample room in my heart for you to reside. Why don't you try that? You are selling yourself so much, selling yourself on Amazon, on online shopping, offline shopping, here, there, where not, giving your trust. uh, for once, sell yourself to me or make yourself available to me, and then see what magic do I do. Man mana bhava mad bhakto. Hmm? Man mana bhava mad bhakto. Become my devotee. Madhyaji mam namaskuru. Worship me, offer your obeisances to me. And this way you will attain me surely. You will come to me. And coming to Krishna or attaining Krishna means attaining Krishna's nature. And what is Krishna's nature? Transcendental. Transcendental nature meaning always blissful, full of joy, full of life. Full of life meaning eternity, full of clarity, full of knowledge. That is what we will attain. That is what a devotee would attain. Now, everyone's heart's desire is it not to be always happy? All of us, we all constantly, even if we want to go through some drama, some adventure, some thrill in life, at the end we want to be peaceful, secured, and happy out of it. We don't want to go to such a thrill or adventure in life where I lose my house, I lose my job, I lose my insurance, and this and that. No, we want adventure, excitement, thrill in life, but the ultimate, the end result should be oh, very happy adventure. So throughout, we always want to be happy. So surely that state, that place, physical place of always being happy is there. Because if it is a desire in me, if it is a thought in me, there would be a equivalent space, there would be a equivalent time, and there would be an equivalent platform facility for me to exercise that desire, to exercise that thought, to bring that thought into action, and to live that thought, to experience that sublimity. And this is what Krishna is saying. By engaging yourself in me, having that loving relationship with me, having that relationship with me, then Krishna will pour out that love in that relationship. And what we are all seeking for, looking for, pure joy, uh, pure love, we will find that. We would find that space, we would find that platform, that arena wherein actually what is said can be put into practice and experienced. Also, it says in the purport, for Krishna, there is no difference between his body. From toe to head, Krishna is spiritual. Uh, We see in Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma, through his deep meditation, his realization is what? Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. So, Ishvara Parama Krishna. Ishvara means controller, and Krishna is the supreme controller. Satchid Ananda Vigraha. Vigraha is body. And how what is Krishna's body made up of? What is it like? Full of eternity. Sat, hmm, full of consciousness. Satchit, full of consciousness, full of knowledge. And Ananda, full of bliss. That is what Krishna's body is, from top toe to head. So there is no distinction between Krishna's body, Krishna's mind, Krishna's thought, Krishna's desire, uh, Krishna's person, Krishna's name. There is no difference between Krishna and Krishna's abode as well, meaning they all carry the same nature, which is transcendental, which is full of joy, full of bliss, full of eternity, full of knowledge. And from Chaitanya Charitamrita, we understand from Mahaprabhu's teachings what? Uh, Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nityamukto Nama Nami Abhinnavat. Nam Chintamani Vigraha. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Nam Chintamani Krishna. So Krishna's name is completely spiritual and full of ras, full of mellow, full of joy. Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto, completely pure and free from any material identification, material thought process, any material layer. Mm. Nitya Mukto, completely free, liberated. So, and this we can experience when we chant the holy names of Krishna. Uh, in thoughts, we want to live like a free bird, is it not? All of us, we want to live like a free bird, relaxed, completely stress free, very free, and scale new heights, venture new places, new heights, everything. So we want to live like a free bird, but we are often caught up in life. No? Because if we want to live like a free bird, which is a good, very healthy desire, now this desire has to be accompanied. It has to be accompanied by a proper action for the desire to transition to come out actually into reality. And what is that action? Chanting the holy names of Krishna, engaging in loving devotional service. By doing that, we can actually become free. We can live like a free bird when we engage ourselves with Krishna. And it says in the purport, there are many actually so called spiritual teachers or writers who differentiate between Krishna, the person, and what he's saying. And many they distort the meaning of Bhagavad Gita, this shloka, and many some others as well, saying what uh, sort of this very popular terminology actually, uh, the Krishna within, uh, Krishna within, and play of words. Bhagavad Gita is definitely not a play of words. Krishna is not playing with words or emotions. He's revealing, he's saying as it is, and this is what Prabhupada in disciplic succession in Guru Parampara is giving us as it is, the commentary. And what should be the effect of going through Bhagavad Gita study? Well, there should be many, many temples of Krishna, there should be many devotees of Krishna, the holy names of Krishna should be spread, the message of Bhagavad Gita should be spread. And this is one Bhagavad Gita, millions and millions of copies distributed worldwide just over last 50 years, and there are more than 600 700 centers worldwide, and the practice and all. And this is surely, this is to expand only. This is Mahaprabhu's mission. No one can stop it. Can anyone actually stop love? How can one stop love? No, there is no force in this world to stop love. And love is what? The Atma, the soul proper. We are hankering actually, we are dying for that pure love for Krishna. So there is no stopping. Just if we are slightly sincere, if we are little bit sincere, we will find so many U-turns in our life, so many turning points in our life, so many notices, so many interventions in our life, which could actually, which are Krishna notices, Krishna interventions, and can be made directly dovetailed into a sweeter life altogether. Provided we are a bit sincere, we are a bit desirous, and once we find, see, the day we find our affinity, what does affinity mean? Affinity,
It's love, unconditional, admiring.
yes. Yeah, our affection, our admiration, our love, our genuine, heartfelt, say, gratitude, emotion. So the day we find our affinity with devotees of Krishna, then Krishna will come to greet us. Krishna will come to greet us. The day we find our affinity with devotees of Krishna, then we will have all resolve in life, complete resolve in life. So man mana bhav mad bhakto, mad yaji mam namaskuru. Think of Krishna, and then to think of Krishna, this is why there's this Krishna book, The Pastimes of Krishna. Uh, to think of Krishna, we need to know someone, and Bhagavad Gita gives us a direct introduction of Krishna. Krishna, the personality, direct introduction of it. So lots for us to actually think of Krishna, and then uh, the yeah, I think we discussed little yesterday, right? The gopis, the topmost devotees of Krishna, the gopis, they were so so much absorbed in thinking of Krishna that they actually told Krishna or prayed to him that Krishna, leave us free. uh, you have completely captured our minds altogether, so much so that we struggle to do any work in the house. We struggle to do. They, the gopis were so absorbed in thinking of Krishna. And my situation is pretty much upside down. Pretty much. So I need regular reminder. Japa is what? To begin with, yeah, it can be a source of regular reminder to remember Krishna. And then when we start doing more japa, we will fall in love with Krishna. Then there will come a day in our lives, there will come a point in our life when we will be never forgetful of our identity, our role. What is my identity? What is my role? Um, the two things like what is my form? This is our physical material body, right? Which is changing, which is growing, which is changing, which is dwindling. Mm, but the soul proper has its proper real spiritual body. And when we come to that spiritual emotion altogether, and what is the highest spiritual emotion? To find my absorption in Krishna, to be always thinking of Krishna, to never forget Krishna. Uh, to ever lovingly think of Krishna. So when I find that absorption, then that spiritual body is there already waiting, already waiting. It is there, that spiritual body. And in that spiritual body, there will be a spiritual role, a spiritual form, a spiritual identity, a spiritual role, a spiritual engagement, a spiritual activity, which will be for eternity. So this is the offering what Krishna is giving to us. That is for the body only, not the soul. Soul is say this thing. We are as old as Krishna. Kindly repeat after me or say, we are as old as Krishna. You can go on mute.
We are as old as Krishna.
Yes, we are as old as Krishna. How does this sound? Lakshmi ji, Harsha, Lucy, Alessandra, Angie. We are as old as Krishna. Just this say, even if I say this thought as well, is very peace giving, is very calming, very soothing. Yeah, Lucy, you're saying something?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to agree. Say it sounds nice. We did repeat it, but we were on mute.
Okay.
Mm.
So, yeah, whenever, surely we feel low sometimes. Huh? Whenever we feel low, s- take this mantra, we are as old as Krishna. Now, we understand this, and now life is giving us this beautiful opportunity to make it a reality, to put it into action. This is why devotional service, it's not like a idle meditation, no. It's a very active engagement. And throughout, devotees, this is how it should be, in and out. Externally, we associate, externally, we deal and all, yes. But internally, we have to capture ourselves internally. The world deals with external, the world is there to judge me externally, as in this is the height, this is the weight, this is the skin color, this is the looks, this is this, that, and all externally. But I have to protect my identity internally. What is my identity? Until and unless I find, see, if Bhagavad Gita is fascinating, even more fascinating, uh, Shrimad Bhagavatam, even more fascinating, yeah. Even more fascinating, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Charitamrita can make us completely crazy, completely mad. In order to, especially certain sections in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Leela, some portions, Madhya Leela, Adi Leela as well. Some portions one should read Chaitanya Charitamrita with a box of tissues nearby, because one would want to cry and cry reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, full tears of joy. So we are as old as Krishna. Just this thought itself is so calming, so peace giving, so soothing, and it will resonate because we are sentient living entities, and those who are listening to Bhagavad Gita, by default, it is to be understood that they that we possess a certain amount of faith we want to exercise. Faith is there with everyone. It needs putting into practice. And as we say, the same very same amount, if I can use the word amount, the very same amount of faith is required in practicing spirituality, in practicing Krishna consciousness, as the amount of faith we need to put in medical science or academic science or academic material science, material workings. Not an iota more, not any more, the same amount of faith. So, those of us who are studying Bhagavad Gita, surely we have faith. We want to put it into practice. We want to apply exercise. We want to check ourselves out. And this will resonate with us. We are as old as Krishna. Now, when we put this fascinating dialogue of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, uh, and Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Kirtan, the holy names of Krishna, the overall process, then slowly, steadily, gradually, we are transforming ourselves into that reality that yes, I am as old as Krishna. And we feel lows and all, yes, but whenever we are low, if I manage to keep intact my internal identity, my real spiritual identity, and if this message strikes about, I am as old as Krishna, will there be anything in this world which could put me into trouble or worry? So, this dialogue Krishna is having, he wants us to be engaged, he wants us to do something and all. Furthermore, in Bhagavatam, furthermore in Bhagavatam, uh, Krishna says that Karosi mein vividhat kriya. He says like he does such fascinating pastimes to attract, please his devotees. So Krishna does fascinating pastimes with his pure devotees. Look, he does fascinating pastimes with his pure devotees. Pure devotees share that fascinating pastimes with Krishna, and us, conditioned living entities, when we give oral reception to Srimad Bhagavad Gita, listening those pastimes of Krishna, we get enamored. We should get enamored. We should get captured. And what happens? Krishna is anyways relishing with his pure devotees. Pure devotees are relishing with Krishna. But we benefit the most out of it. Like if I become Krishna conscious, uh, who is going to benefit the most? Myself. myself. And surely, if my mood is actually Krishna, you will also relish more if you have my company. So kindly engage me, accept me, take me in. Mm, Krishna will also be very pleased. Krishna is also quite greedy. He's greedy for our love. We, we need to understand um, the tone or where Krishna's pulse lie and how to activate that pulse. So Krishna's pulse lies with his pure devotees. And when we come across pure devotees of Krishna, then we won't be far away from Krishna. So Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam is what like in very nutshell, it is the pastimes of Krishna. So who is Krishna? Who are Krishna's pure devotees? What is the bhakti, the loving relationship between the two? And how is it that channelized, experienced, put into practice and dealt, and what are the dealings between the two? So the Krishna and his pure devotees, they all are playing their pure roles. Likewise, we have a role. I have an identity. I have a role to play. And if I contemplate more in my role, my identity, I am as old as Krishna, my spiritual role, spiritual identity, then I will find increasing motivation and I can find a shift in my consciousness, a transition from matter to spirit all together, all the way through. And this is what Krishna is proposing, offering. Engage your mind in me. In this world, this is a physical world of cause and effect. When we engage in this world through our mind and senses, and funnily, or this mind is the problem, the conditioned material mind. See, in our dealings also, we will do ourselves a great deal when dealings with friends, family members, work, place, we're not strangers, whosoever, and surely with devotees. We all are in our journey, right? And I have my tremendous shortfalls. But if I can manage to differentiate between the person and the person's mind, wouldn't that be nice? If I can differentiate that, yes, he's a practicing devotee, and if I can somehow differentiate or draw, kind of distinguish between his mind and the person. Likewise, if I can differentiate between, say, the bus driver I'm meeting, the bus driver and his mind, hmm? uh, any other person for that matter, whosoever I meet, and if there is any negative, any uh, conflict happening there, and if I can distinguish between the person and the mind, so the person is a potential pure devotee of Krishna. He also belongs to Krishna as much as I belong to Krishna. He also has the same caliber, everything. Since he's a part and parcel of Krishna, how can I be envious of the person? No. How can I be jealous? No. But the person's mind is very conditioned. So if I can distinguish between the two, I can never go in a row, in a conflict, in a negative dealing with the person, with the soul proper. And on a behavioral platform, yes, I understand his mind, and that's how I can deal and find the right result. And that will not make me also agitated. Surely, honestly, speaking strong is fine, but we don't have to speak harsh. We don't have to speak rude. We don't have to speak arrogantly or insulting, derogatory. No, we can still stick to our ground. Krishna is sticking to his ground. He's making Arjuna stick to his ground without employing any means of forgery, without employing any means of trick or cheating or anything like that. Where does our problem lie? Our problems lie in the mind. Where does our problem stem from? They all stem from the mind. What is Krishna wanting? That what is most the trouble thing for you, your mind, right? Give that to me. If we give our mind to Krishna, then yes, Krishna will do such a heart surgery. From our mind, Krishna wants access to our heart. Yes. Through our mind, actually, Krishna wants access to our heart. Yeah. Why are we not able to give our heart to Krishna? Because the mind is in the blockage. The intelligence wants to actually give, but it is overpowered by the mind. Yeah. And the mind is falsely fueling our false ego. Huh? The mind is putting us in this material world, in this material identity, material emotions, chaos, and everything. And mind likes what? Excitement. Mind likes a bit of a hype, ups and downs, this and that, some sort of cake and everything. So mind says, oh, don't get up early in the morning. What will you do? Mangalarti, the Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. At the end of the day, there's three words only, Hare Krishna, Rama. How much do you want to sing, chant, and all? All this. So mind doesn't want our heart to be accessed by Krishna. And this is what Krishna wants entrance in our heart, or Krishna wants that we give our heart to Him. And He knows the keys through the mind. So He's asking our mind. And this is why Krishna has given us what? Mantra meditation. To manage our mind through mantra. The very word mantra, Sanskrit word mantra, means what? Manastrayate iti mantra. That which delivers the mind, that which frees the mind, that which transcends the mind. From what? From ignorance, from undue material attachments, from undue materialistic expectations, from material identities. So, mantra meditation, the more we chant the holy names of Krishna, we will realize our identity. Hmm. Prabhupada says, self realization follows God realization. And this is devotees' experience. Those who have been chanting the holy names of Krishna, Japa, Kirtan, engaging in devotional service. We are in a chase after Krishna. The more I'm trying to chase Krishna, the more I know myself much better. And Krishna won't just like show, okay, look how, say, filthy you are and all. No. Krishna will show us our real value, real worth, real glory, real strength. So I should always try to protect my internal identity, my real identity, my spiritual identity, understand my spiritual role. uh, Once I give a bit of my mind to Krishna, let Krishna mind my mind. Like Arjuna, he gave himself to Krishna. And maybe on this note, I give you a bit of a piece. Um, There's lots more to say, share, discuss, and in no devotee can actually say that yes, okay, we covered this. No, again, this exercise is what is just, if I may say, a bit of a humble attempt to go through the Bhagavad Gita, to go through this fascinating journey and appreciate more and more this dialogue. See, in society, the more if I appreciate dealings of societal and all, somewhere I don't find saturated. I don't find nourishment, and somewhere I feel like a bit empty. I feel a bit jealous. I feel a bit lacking. Oh no, I'm missing out. She got a promotion. He got a promotion. She got this. He got this. When I hear others' glories, or if I have to actually somewhat glorify someone, sometimes like people may feel like this. Okay, I'm missing out. No, no, I need to step up and all. But here, when we glorify Krishna, when we glorify Bhagavad Gita, when we glorify this wisdom, the dialogue between Arjuna and Krishna, wow, I feel so nourished, so nourished. Okay, I think we have overgone with time a bit. Any thoughts, questions, or comments? So I won't be ever able to any of the shloka like say that yes we have covered this to the full, no. And also I don't think so I would be in any shape like able to answer any of the question as such. But and certainly I don't consider myself to be a teacher of Bhagavad Gita. But it is your kindness and if any thoughts, questions and all what we have experienced hearing from devotees and all that can be shared. And yeah, this is something a joy of the heart which has to be a bit expressed and brought out. This emotion shouldn't lie dormant. This emotion should be fed more and more, more and more, more and more. So much so that we actually come to our first nature. We get completely overpowered by our first nature, which is to be ever joyous. Yeah, again, this with this very thought of I am as old as Krishna. If I can aim for eternity in life, then pleasure will be there because real pleasure is eternal. Real pleasure is for eternity. And if I can realize, if I can work out that yes, actually the soul never dies, the body is changing, the soul is changing body means the soul has the potential to come to its spiritual body. If I can track, if I can you know with courier dealings and all track where is your assignment track, so if I can track where am I heading towards eternity, then real pleasure will be there because real pleasure is eternal. Okay, I think Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.